Good morning, winners! Welcome to Terry's Tips. So listen, today is a holiday when I'm recording this actual video. So if you celebrate, happy Thanksgiving. If you don't celebrate, happy brand new day. Honestly, guys, in the times that we're in, I'm recording this video November 2020. Every single day that we open up our eyes is a day to celebrate and to give thanks. Amen? So because I know so many more people are home today, though, I have a bonus for you guys. Listen, I decided for today's whole video is a bonus because I decided to put the very top 3 things that I get asked the most into one video for you. Get a notebook, get a pen, because I have so much information and I'm going to give it to you fast, okay? Because I'm not trying to be on here for 2 hours. You guys want to go back to relaxing and having your day off and being with your family. Amen? So listen, in today's video, I'm going to give you tips on how to get collections deleted, how to get late payments deleted, and how to get inquiries deleted. Yes, y'all. Okay? And if you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Terry. I am a self-employed entrepreneur, a mother, investor, YouTuber. Every Thursday, every Tuesday, I upload brand new videos: personal credit, business credit, financial literacy, investing, real estate investing, mindset, breaking generational cycles of poverty. My channel is about the big money, about the legacy building, and that's why I give you guys so much information so you can do the work on your own, get the results, and then go build your empire. Amen? So I would love for you, like, share, comment, subscribe, like, share, comment, subscribe, share my channel with somebody. And I will do my nugget at the end. And since we have so much information to cover, we're going to jump right in right now. Okay, look, ready, set, go. So number 1, under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA, I want you all to know that it is always your right as the consumer to dispute anything you feel is inaccurate, unfair, outdated, cannot be verified. Okay, that is the criteria. Nowhere in the Fair Credit Reporting Act does it say that valid negative debts will be removed, valid negative items will be removed. However, a ton of stuff does get removed when you dispute it. That's why I'm doing this video. That's why I'm giving you tips to get better results, okay? So always exercise your right as a consumer, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, nowhere is there a 100% guarantee. You guys know I'm transparent. I give it to you real. There's never a 100% guarantee that just because you dispute something, it will be removed. If you follow my tips and listen to what I'm telling you, you'll have a better result. Like, I get testimonials like literally every single day all over social media about people who follow my tips and have gotten really good results, okay? And so always still exercise your right, but never, always remember there's not a 100% guarantee that valid items will be removed. So this is why you always, always, always put together a plan for your credit to get to your goal, whether items get removed or whether they don't. That's one thing that I specialize in. So if you need a strategy session, I will put a link in the description. Reach out to me directly. You can still do this on your own. You just need a plan without paying a company thousands of dollars to do credit repair. Use that thousands of dollars for your down payment or to pay down debt or for leverage, okay? So that's number 2. And then the last thing, and I don't care, y'all, what these videos say, you always get a better result if you do your disputes in writing. That's another tip. Do not do your disputes over the phone. Do not do your disputes online. You always have a better result doing it in writing. Like literally, that's like credit repair 101. Why do you think all these companies have template letters and form letters? Because you get a better result in writing. Yes, sometimes you can call and get a result. Yes, sometimes you can do it online and get a result. But if you want the best opportunity, maximize your results, then do the work and do your disputes in writing to the credit bureaus directly. You're writing a letter to TransUnion, a letter to Equifax, a letter to Experian. That's a tip, okay? Let me start with inquiries, okay? Guys, a hard inquiry means you have applied for credit. They check your credit report. An inquiry can be reported for 2 years. Guys, the credit bureaus automatically have a mechanism due to compliance that will automatically delete your inquiries once it has reached that 2-year time frame, okay? So you don't need to write them like, I think my inquiry is too old. No, exactly at 2 years, it will come off automatically. I promise you, okay? So inquiries can be reported for 2 years, whether you're approved or denied. An inquiry itself is not negative. Did y'all hear me? It's excessive inquiries that are negative. So if you have like 6 in a 12-month time frame, that's not bad at all. If you have 20 in the last 90 days, if you have 20 in the last year, that's excessive. That's when it starts to bring down your score. So some tips to help you remove inquiries. Number 1, know which inquiries to try to get removed. Know which inquiries to dispute. It's always generally better if you wait for the inquiry to age at least 90 days. Don't apply for something on Monday and on Friday dispute the inquiry. You have a higher likelihood of getting the inquiry removed if you at least wait 90 days, okay? The older it gets, the less likely it can be validated, or sometimes it's not worth it for them to validate it, or sometimes you increase your likelihood of it getting removed. That's number 1. Number 2, never dispute an inquiry that resulted in an open account. No, y'all, okay? So if you apply for a Discover credit card and you get approved for the Discover credit card, you do not want to go back and dispute the Discover inquiry. Guys, number 1, they know you're lying, okay? And you are lying and you're proving you're lying. So now they think everything is a frivolous dispute. But number 2, a lot of times now the companies will suspend your credit line or even close it if you dispute the inquiry. So if you applied for something and you got the house, you got the loan, you got the car, you got the credit card, do not dispute that inquiry. Got it good, y'all. And number 3, freeze your file with Sage Stream. I'll put a link in the description. Sage Stream is a data furnisher. They are a third-party company. They are widely well known and used by the credit bureaus to verify inquiries. If you freeze your file with Sage Stream first, and then write your dispute letter in writing to the credit bureaus after that, disputing the inquiries, following the criteria I gave you, you have a higher likelihood of getting your inquiries removed, okay? Freeze with Sage Stream, then dispute in writing with the credit bureau. And obviously don't dispute them all, guys. You know, if you have 10 inquiries, maybe you're deleting like 3 or 4 that you feel are inaccurate, unfair, can't be validated. Got it good. All right, number 2, let's talk about removing collections. Guys, number 1 when trying to get collections removed from your credit report is do a sweep of your personal information. Write that down. A sweep of your personal information. That means getting your credit report from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and first looking at the names, the addresses, the employers, the phone numbers. A lot of times, as a tip, reading between the line, guys, the accounts on your credit report are linked to your personal information. The less personal information you have on your credit report, the less they have to verify. So make sure your credit report is only reporting your accurate, current information. In your dispute letter, you can say, remove this outdated or inaccurate address. Remove this outdated or inaccurate employer, phone numbers, AKAs, okay? If it's outdated, if you don't recognize it, if it's inaccurate, if it was a friend's address, a family member's address, a lot of times get that stuff removed in your letter in writing to the credit bureau. Say remove, and you can't just say remove inaccurate addresses. Guys, they have to know exactly what you're talking about. Say remove this address, remove this address, remove this inquiry, remove this employer, remove this phone number, remove this AKA. Any personal information that you feel is inaccurate, unfair, really is not yours, should not be associated with you, have the credit bureaus remove that first. You're doing your letter in writing, and you're always including proof of your identity, meaning a valid driver's license or 2 utility bills showing your name and your current address, so that the credit bureau knows that this is a valid dispute coming from you, the consumer, and not some credit repair place. Got it? Then dispute, after you've done a sweep of your personal information, then you're disputing the collection in writing to the credit bureau directly, okay? And always remember, when you're disputing items, you're putting the burden of proof on the bureau. That's all this is, guys. It is law, burden of proof. They will do a dispute, and then they have 30 days by law to verify the information. If they don't respond at all, if they don't respond in time, or if they're unable to validate the debt, then the item gets deleted. Okay, you're welcome. Now, a couple of tips for disputes for collections is, number 1, you can also dispute it with the collection agency directly. When you get letters in the mail from the collection agencies, stop ignoring those letters. Write a letter to them and say, I dispute this debt. Ask for a debt validation. Sometimes you guys can get it removed just by trying to ask the collection agency to validate the debt, or sometimes you can prevent it from even being added to your credit report by disputing it with the credit bureau directly. That's another tip. Another tip is paying the original creditor. So say you have a collection for portfolio recovery and they are collecting for Aqua, which is a water company. If you then know it's a valid debt and you want the item removed from your credit report, pay Aqua directly, the original creditor, get proof of payment, and then dispute it with the credit bureau and dispute it with the collection agency. You hear me? Dispute it with the credit bureau, dispute it with the collection agency, both times in writing. You have proof of payment that you paid the original creditor. That increases the likelihood that the collection will be removed. You can even have an argument that you paid it before collections, meaning you weren't sure, you didn't know it was going to collections. You already were in transition to pay the original creditor. That means the collection on your credit report is inaccurate, unfair, not valid reporting. Got it good. And another tip for collections, guys, is statute of limitations. I just had somebody use this to their benefit and they just put this in the comments on one of my videos. There's so many of them. But this is where there's reporting laws, and then there's debt collection laws, and then there's statute of limitations laws around debt collection. And it varies by state. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is at a national level, right? Negative information can be reported for 7 years from the date of last activity. Fair Credit Reporting Act. However, statute of limitations for debt collection vary by state, somewhere as little as like 3 years up to like 7 and 10 years. So research your state, see what the statute of limitations is, and if something is past the statute of limitations or about to be at the statute of limitations, use that to negotiate. I have had people that have done their research. You're educated, you're empowered. You found out about the statute of limitations. When the collection agency tried to call you or tried to validate this debt, you went ahead and said, listen, it's past the statute of limitations. You cannot collect from me, or you've used that to negotiate because it was about to be expired, and people have gotten things deleted that way. So research the statute of limitations for your state and see if it is expired or coming at, and use that to negotiate. And lastly, if it is a valid collection and you must then pay it to get to your house, to get to your business loan, to get to your line of credit, to get to your investing, guys, do not let a collection or anything of that nature stand between you and your destiny, okay? So if it's valid and you have to pay and you've written 29,000 letters, make a one-time lump sum settlement to get it to a zero balance as quickly as possible. Negotiate down at least 40 to 60%. I'll link that video. Dispute it after you pay it. Again, dispute it after you pay it, because sometimes once they've gotten their money, they just won't respond to the dispute. So sometimes you get it removed through a loophole after you make this settlement. And then lastly, you can also negotiate a deletion, a delete for pay, when you're making a settlement if it's a valid negative debt that does not get removed through the dispute process and it is standing in the way of your goal. Got it good, y'all. All right, and lastly, child. I'm trying to get it all in without this video being like 30,000 minutes. The last thing is late payments. So guys, a valid late payment can be reported for 7 years. This is critical to your credit report because payment history is 35%. It's the biggest bucket of the FICO scoring model. Late payments, late negative information, pay history. So this is where you really want to focus. Number one, if you have a bunch of late payments on all of your accounts, forget disputing things. You need to add positive payment history. Guys, I'm telling you guys the real deal. I just have to post it. I have somebody got 153 points in like a couple of months by listening to my tips. Add positive payment history while you're working on your disputes. I will link my credit builder accounts video, and in this description here, I have my link tree. Go to my link tree. It will say credit builder revolving, credit builder self-lender, which is installment. If everything is delinquent, you have a bunch of late payments everywhere, step number one is to add credit builder accounts so you can start adding positive payment history to your reports while you're working on your disputes. That's huge, guys. And you want at least 6 months. 12 months is better, but at least 6 months of positive on-time payments on your credit builder accounts, revolving and installment, to help boost your score while you're doing your disputes, okay? And for late payments, a valid late payment, like I said, can be reported for 7 years. A couple of tips. They don't hurt you as much, or sometimes if you're going for something big like real estate financing, if you at least have 6 to 12 months of on-time payment. So bring it current immediately and start paying it on time now. You can't expect a lender to want to give you credit and your items are still delinquent, okay? And number 2 is you could dispute it with the credit bureau directly in writing. Now, if you have 15 late payments on an account, are they likely to remove them all? Absolutely not. But if there's a discrepancy, meaning like for Equifax reporting 8 late payments and TransUnion they're reporting 10 late payments, that's inaccurate reporting. You can use that to your benefit to dispute it in writing with the credit bureau. Maybe the credit bureau, one credit bureau is reporting 30 days, and another credit bureau is reporting 60 days. That's inaccurate, inconsistent information. Use that to your benefit to dispute it with the credit bureau. If it is an open account, start with a Goodwill letter, meaning you're writing a letter to the company directly, not to the credit bureaus directly. You're more likely to get a better result working with the company. That's only if it's an open account. Guys, only if it's an open account. Closed accounts, Goodwill letters generally don't work for because they have no incentive to work with you, okay? So for closed accounts, collections, charge-offs, you're writing a letter to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, the credit bureaus. For open accounts, you have a current car with, Capital One Auto Finance, and it had 2 late payments. You're writing a letter to Capital One directly. You're explaining the situation, not just saying, I want you to remove this from my credit report. Explain the hardship, whatever occurred that made you be late. Outline your current business relationship. Have it current right now. Don't ask them to do something for you and it's still past due. And also another tip is to get as many addresses as you can for your creditor, as many corporate addresses, and saturate them with these Goodwill letters. Meaning maybe you have 6 addresses for Capital One Auto Finance and you are sending a Goodwill letter to all of the addresses. There's a strategy behind this, guys, that works. Meaning the more unique hands you get your letter into, the more likely you're able to find somebody, at least somebody in corporate, somebody at their office, somebody there who may actually overturn an inquiry or 2. Now, if you have 1 or 2 or 3 inquiries, this works. 1 or 2 or 3 late payments, this works. If you have like 15 late payments, guys, add the positive payment history with the credit bureau account, with the credit builder accounts, okay? You're not likely to get a creditor to remove multiple late payments. 1, 2, 3 late payments on an open account, Goodwill letter. Okay? Got it good, y'all. So that was a ton of information. I outlined tips to get better results to delete collections, tips to get better results to delete inquiries. I can talk today. And tips to get better results to delete late payments, okay? I talked about doing it in writing, sending proof, doing a sweep of your personal information, the guidelines, doing stuff with the credit bureaus, doing stuff with the creditors. I gave you a ton of information. I hope you took notes, okay? And my nugget for today is comparison. Guys, comparison will kill your soul. Stop comparing yourself to other people, other things, other walks of life. Stop. First of all, you don't know what they went through to get to where they are. You don't know the sacrifices, the journey, the hurt, the pain. You don't know what people went through to get to where they are. So never covenant, never be jealous, never be envious, never compare your situation to anybody else because you have no idea what they did, what they went through to get there. That's number 1. Number 2, we all have different gifts. We are all unique in a different way. Something you're amazing at, they could be horrible at, and something that they're horrible at, you can be amazing at. So understand that you are uniquely and beautifully made king, uniquely, beautifully made queen. And another thing is sometimes even for like businesses, for relationships, for whatever, like this is where your chapter 1, your chapter 2, you're comparing to their chapter 30. Now you've been real estate investing for 2 years and you're frustrated, and this other person's been doing it for 15. You're a newlywed and you're having problems with your marriage. This other person has been with their spouse for 25 years. Like, guys, stop. You started working out 2 months ago and this person's been working out for 3 years consistently. Stop comparing yourself. And also, like, single doesn't mean unhappy and married doesn't mean happy. Like, literally learn to focus on you. Stop comparing your situation, your barriers, your blessings, your hurdles, the thing you struggle with, the things you're amazing at is different. And this is where sometimes you have to also detox from social media, because I promise you, people highlight what's going amazing. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So my nugget for today is to be thankful, be grateful, Focus on you. Stop comparing. And when you're finding you're in a bad energy and you're just kind of looking at everybody else, I want you to get a grateful journal, a grateful log. I do this heavy when I'm having a bad day or a bad mood or things are going crazy, and I will write down all the things that I'm grateful for or all the things positive that happened in the day, and it instantly turns my situation around. Count your blessings, not your problems. Amen. And stop comparing. I hope that was helpful. Like, comment, share. Let me know if this information blessed you, and have a super amazing day on purpose, guys.